do. Good morning, you guys. It's a Virgo morning. Okay, I started a little late, just a few minutes late, okay? And it's only because I had to refill my coffee, okay? I can't function without it. You guys know how I am about my coffee, all right? You know, I had to get a refill. And you know, a sister girl had to, start off with some good music early in the morning. Okay? And I have to tell you guys, I have a special guest. Gold Thumb. Let me turn this on. Hey.
You like it?
Hell yeah! Look, I'm from Chicago, okay?
Oh, you done said enough.
I thought you knew.
You done said enough.
Hell yeah! Chicago, we about this life.
Oh, you already know.
Yeah.
One of my favorite cities. Yep.
Yes. Oh my God, I'm so happy to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Thank you for showing up. I'm so nervous. I'm like, okay, Gold Thumb. It's been a minute. It's been a minute that I've had interviewed a musician. The last musician that I had interviewed was Damola, the violinist from Nigeria. It's from Nigeria. So I'm like, man, okay. I have a lot of questions to ask you. But one thing I want to say is I wish the music industry would focus on more musicians. I know that hip hop and R&B, I know that is the thing. That's what's popping, trap. Don't get me wrong. I love it all. I do.
It's time and place for everything, right? Of course. I like some of it too.
But folks do not give enough recognition to musicians. Yep. I don't think people understand that without an instrument, you wouldn't have a voice.
Exactly. Yep.
You know?
Mm-hmm. I of course I know. Yeah.
Of course. So your name is Matthew Jones.
Yep.
You're from Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Motor City. Motown.
Yeah. Born and raised.
Man, like, I read your bio and I felt like, okay, I need to know. You started playing the saxophone. I know you probably play other instruments as well, right?
So I can play other instruments. Like I can play the piano. I can make it sound like I can play piano, but that's just the musicianship, in me. But honestly, it's just saxophone is my heart. That's my go-to, and that's like my spirit instrument. That's how I feel. Yep. Because I can truly sing through that horn. I think because I can sing, but I'm not a singer. So I feel I can really sing through the saxophone. That's why I really have just stuff with that.
Yeah, because look, a saxophone is a little. I'm not even gonna lie. I feel a little guilty, but I'm gonna say it.
Uh-oh.
I went to Grambling State University.
Okay.
And,
HBCU, let's go.
Yeah, and I date this guy only because he played the saxophone.
Only
because the saxophonist is sexy. You know what I'm saying? And he had charm. But I really like the fact that he played the saxophone.
I mean,
that was wrong.
Well, I mean, it has that type of appeal. It's not the first time I've heard something like that. So,
I did, but we're good friends though. But honestly, though, a saxophone, It's a beautiful woodwind instrument. It's sexy. It's powerful. It's a vibe.
It's
You
also
know.
classical. It's also jazz. It's like the reason why I like the saxophone is like pretty much right in the middle of the spectrum,
Mhm.
because it's kind of like the mutant, it's the mix of the woodwind and the brass that comes together. So you're going to see them in some wind ensembles and concert bands, and you're also going to see them in jazz combos, you know, and then you'll see them like what I really do. I do like a lot of hip hop and R&B sax. I'm
Yeah.
studying jazz, but I am definitely a hip hop and R&B saxophonist.
Yes, because it's crazy because I went to an independent artist party a couple of months ago with the PR, Jacqueline Yvette, and there
Okay.
was this group. I didn't get a chance to find out who they were, but they were hip hop artists. And then there's this guy that comes out of nowhere, and I was like, I'm not even gonna lie, my attention went straight to him.
Okay.
Okay, because he was killing it. I mean, don't get me wrong, the brothers were doing their thing, but he got up on that stage and I was like, I'm like, yo, brothers, y'all did the right
Hey,
thing. And
hey,
him
hey.
on here, he was doing something. You know what? I have it on video. I will post it. I can't believe I didn't post it, but there's something about adding that special touch, you know,
Always.
that special touch, on especially with hip hop music. But
Yes.
I also heard that you did an engineering studio session with some famous folks. Tell me the juice. Tell me the coffee. Let me wait.
Take a sip first. Got to. So I was blessed to engineer a studio for George Clinton. That also, when I got down to the studio, Chico DeBarge was also in there. So that was huge for me. This was
Yeah.
how many years ago now? A decent amount of time. This was like when I first started my I would say towards my professional music career, playing out, in the public and weddings and stuff like that. But also like I have a studio, I book time and work at other people's studios, stuff like that. And my uncle, he used to be a roadie for Parliament Funkadelic. So we're still cool and stuff. And whenever he can throw stuff my way, he will. And he's like, Matt, wake up. George need an engineer. I need you there. I'm like, yeah. Not to mention like George Clinton in Parliament Funkadelic is like one of my biggest influences. My dad is a funketeer, 100%. He helped mold my influences
Yeah.
from like
Your parents.
Jimi Hendrix, Marvin Gaye, the Whispers, obviously Parliament Funkadelic, Blackbird, Condor, all that good music that we all can always refer to that will be played for 100 years, and like, oh, that's the best music. So got to the studio. This is actually Mark Bass's studio, who's the studio Eminem started out of, actually.
Okay.
So that was my first time being there. Walked in, and it was like a dark hallway, and then I see the hair first coming through the darkness. And I'm like, this is really happening right now. This is like crazy. And then I, held my composure. I'm pretty good at that. And I was like, hey, nice to meet you. Like, yeah, I'll be downstairs in a minute. So I went downstairs, beautiful studio, and he had like the whole band down there with him too. It was like a whole. It was like a I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a party, but it was like they were talking, and it was just a whole vibe. Never experienced anything like that since. And I got to engineer. Chico was doing most of the singing. George was like conducting from outside, but he didn't do a lot of talking. But there was a note. This is like my most memorable moment. Besides the good guitarist, he had like a very sexy bass guitar. It was like made into a woman. It was like it was like beautiful. But besides that, Chico was trying to get this note, couldn't find it, and then George just like, huh, and everybody just went silent. And he just sang it, however he sang it, and it was like, yo, like that's like the most I heard from like the whole day pretty much. But it was like I could just tell like just from that interaction with him and everybody around him, like he is the man. More than I ever thought, but it was just beautiful. And then how much can I keep talking about it? Because it kind of keeps going.
Please.
So then also I guess I did a good job. He was like, "Hey, can you help me move?" So he helped. I
You
actually
family
helped.
now.
I helped him move, pack up when he moved from Michigan to Florida. He lived out like a north, like middle Michigan, like you know how we do live here. So, drove up. I helped him pack up all his stuff, and I was centered around his library, and I got to see like all the books that he reads and has read, and what he. I'm like everything you heard about him is true. He reads everything. You got physics, you got the UFOs, you got this, you got that, da da da. Super deep individual, and he actually, you know, for my time, yeah, he paid me, but he gave me like a rhyme dictionary, you know, so that was huge for me, and I will never ever ever forget that. That's probably my most memorable musical experience so far. I've had other ones that are pretty cool too, but I think that's the best one.
That was, man. Is he a perfectionist? I always wonder, because when I think about James Brown, when I watched his movie and how he would, okay, take another time, another, and he would be like all day in rehearsal, and folks are like tired. He's like, nope, it's not good enough, and he just keeps it going. Was he that type of person?
So I feel George is more of a vibe guy.
All right.
So it felt like, you know, as long as nothing sticks out in the vibe, let it go. As long as not a low note or something that's not, you know, too dissonant, he let it go. Because like I said, he didn't talk a lot at all. He was just talking when he needed to. So I just kind of feel he definitely is a go with the flow type of feel. That's what I got from him, you know. So I'm sure like his rehearsals are much different. I haven't been to rehearsal, but in the studio, you know.
Man, gosh, I would love to like just spend one day in a studio session and just and see how it goes, you know? I know it's
Yes.
so different from like just being a hip hop artist and then playing an instrument. I don't know. I wish I
Yeah,
was
I mean,
in
there's
course.
definitely a huge artistic vibe in writing. I'm never going to take away from lyrics, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, some of the you know, some of the best lyrics we've heard have changed our lives, and
It's
they
true.
change our mood and make us feel better. So I'm never
Yeah.
going to take anything from lyrics, but it's something to take a random sound and create music out of it. You know, it's nothing like it. So you know, I'm always going to love my band sessions and band rehearsals because you know pure creation create noise,
Yeah.
organized noise turns into music.
And it's nothing like live music anyway. I sometimes feel like, I mean, you hear so much studio stuff, but I love hearing live music. I mean, when
Hmm.
I was at home in Chicago, you know, I love reggae. And,
Okay.
you know, usually when you go to a reggae club, it's always live music going on. And sometimes I feel like we miss that real, like that in the moment. You know, that one,
Hmm.
I mean, you can make a mistake. We wouldn't really hear it or notice it. Some may,
Uh-huh.
notice it, but it's something about the real. It's something about that live music that gets you drawn in, you know?
Yeah, that when you hear tracks, you
Yes.
know, there's a robotic type of feel to it. You know, it's mechanical. It's not as much flowy because most of the time, I mean, there's some people who track without a metronome to keep us on tempo, but most of it's, you know, and grind to that tempo. So it's going to sound a little, you know, robotic. There's ways to go around that. You can make your tracks a little lazy and give it some flow and, you know, and some laid backness, like make some tracks behind the beat will give you a little more drag.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it's nothing like having a band because I can go bop, give me two, bop, bop, change
Yeah.
this. Let's go to F. Let's go to
Yeah.
G. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that will ever touch a live band.
Man. So, I know with this, I don't want to say the COVID, you know, I wish it would disappear.
Oh, me too.
You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
I always wondered if it has affected many musicians and many artists out there as far as getting, you know, getting some gigs. But then I kind of think about it. It gives you time to regroup.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I wonder how has that been for you? You know, when we had that little quarantine shutdown, what are some of the things that you probably have concentrated on during that
So
little
that
time?
COVID definitely changed my dynamic of how I operate as a musician.
Mhm.
Because we were forced to isolate, so I had to isolate, which means I had to really tailor my show to me only.
Mm-hmm.
I still have a band. I still work with people, but that was when, like right after the quarantine, everyone's having events outside. I started getting calls though, but it was just me. I started doing my solo act. So I will honestly say that COVID really helped me
Mm-hmm.
more on the musicianship side because I got more in tune with my voice more than I thought I was already, more
Mm-hmm.
confident more than I was already because I know now I can go on a stage by myself. I don't need anybody else, and I will give you a show, you know. And that was huge for me. That helped me develop a lot as far as what direction I'm going to be going in and how I'm going to be staging or setting up my live acts now. It's going to be more bringing my production side. I'm a producer,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm going to be bringing more of the production element into that live feel because I think it's necessary. It's a part of my brand. And that's kind of what I've learned. I got called for a lot of anniversary gigs, a lot of
Wedding.
private gigs, weddings, and it was just me by myself. Sometimes I played the whole time, played during the service, then I go play for the reception, just because everything was so isolated. So
Yeah.
and then not to mention in a band, we got to rehearse, but we got to rehearse together. So that's a little more difficult to do that when we have to be social distancing and make sure we're keeping each other safe. So yeah, we still got to rehearse kind of a little later. We did take a little bit of break, but we're for the most part back rolling where we need to be.
Yeah, because I've
But it
seen
was
a
a
lot of
huge change.
musicians. Yeah, I've seen a lot of musicians now on TikTok. They're collaborating with other musicians, and how the
Mhm.
way they're not in the same space. You know what I'm saying? And then they harmonize, and I think that's pretty cool and pretty amazing that they can do that and not
Mhm.
even be in the same room with them.
Yes, yes, yep. And that we actually took a chance at well, not a chance, but we actually like made a song away from each other.
Yeah.
Kind of weird. I mean, we like playing it better, but we actually like, hey, you're gonna record this at home. You're gonna record this at home. Send it to him after you record it, so he can hear it, do his part. All right, after you're done, send it to me so I can do my part. So
Right.
we did try some of that. It's not the best, and if technology is not on your side, it can be difficult. But you can still make it.
But you know what? I think that's kind of cool because you get to really know that person, you know, in their own element. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah,
Like, just because you play an instrument together, you're all in the same room together, but you get a chance to listen to their unique sound, you know?
yeah,
You
that's
know,
true.
you may have
Hmm.
missed something about that person,
Yeah, and
and
that's
how
that's
they
one of the
play
biggest things in
a
music. That's
yeah.
one. Yeah, listening to each other. Like
Hmm.
when we're playing on the stage, when you see a band, we are literally in tune with each other. I'm listening exactly what everyone's doing. So if something happens over here, I hear it, or it gives me a cue to this is what I need to do, or this is what we need to do. But most of the time, most of our communication is silent, unsaid, and through vibe. That's another reason why I love playing with
Yeah, I
a
love
band.
that vibe. I like my coffee vibes too. Because do you drink
Yeah,
coffee?
I do. It's a little later here,
I know,
different
but
time.
I'm just curious. That's good. See, I like coffee drinkers. I like tea drinkers too. Don't get me wrong, but I
Yeah,
always ask, do anybody drink
yeah.
coffee? I
I'm
think
not a
people
huge coffee drinker. I
see
like I drink it, a couple times a week. I like espressos.
me too. I know a lot of people
Like
say
a good chocolate espresso will set me right.
good, good. So for you guys out there who think coffee drinkers are square, musicians drink coffee, okay? Hip hop artists drink coffee. Don't get it twisted. I had to throw that in there
Yep,
because some
yep.
people, maybe thinking, who's this little bourgeois latte coffee drinking woman? Like, you look, you got to have coffee and you got to have that vibe. You got to have good
Hmm.
music, you
Goes
know,
hand in hand. Yep.
right. Just
Hmm.
like when you go to a jazz club, you got to have that wine. You listen to
Hmm.
some music.
Like your nice little cocktail, your glass of scotch.
Thank
Gotta
you.
have
Okay. Exactly. So, collaborations. Is there anybody out there that you would love to work with?
it.
As far as female artists, R&B.
Mm. R&B female artist that I would love to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like Jasmine Sullivan. I wouldn't mind
Really?
working with
I
her.
see that.
Yeah, I really would love to work with her. One of my covers I did a cover of her song, which is like my most listened to track on SoundCloud. That she really that's that's my vibe. Definitely my
Yeah.
vibe. But also like I'm a soul type of person, so
Yes.
Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Um
Chicago girl.
so the sisters, they're newer. I keep forgetting their name. Someone's trying to call me. Leave me alone.
Was it Chloe, the
Chloe, yeah,
Bailey's girl?
yes, yes. I've recently started to really dig into their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I like what they're doing. You know,
Okay.
we need some more of that.
Yes, we do. They have
And
this one song that I like, and I think Beyonce, and it had a little Beyonce vibe to it. It's their very first album that they did. It's probably the very first, the only, but I can't remember. It was, I didn't even realize that it was them. But
Yeah.
those girls, they need to come out with something. I like Chloe doing things on her own, but I really like them together. I really do. I really enjoy them, working together. They're just a whole vibe, And my girl, of course, Erica Badu.
Oh well, you know, obviously that's the queen or one of the
Yes,
queens. You know what I'm
yes.
saying? I would love to work with all of them. I can't say I wouldn't work with any of them. I would love to work with them all, but you know. Yeah, I saw Fantasia too. Yes, her
Oh,
too.
yes. Fantasia, yes.
That's my
Okay.
jump.
Mary
That's my jump.
Kay.
Go ahead and be yourself. I love that. I love
Yes,
it. Yeah.
yes. And Jill, what about Jill?
Jill Scott. Love her too. Yes.
Yes.
You can just keep naming all the greats. Yeah.
Fanny,
Yeah.
it's like Kelly Price. Yes,
Kelly Price.
yes.
If we're saying like Mary J. Blige, if we're gonna go there. Mary J.
Hmm.
Blige, that's my girl. I play a lot of a couple of her songs in my live sets. So and
Yeah.
obviously I would not cannot forget Lauryn Hill.
Oh,
Yep.
yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Lauryn
Beautiful
Hill, yep.
Lauren Hill.
I know she was on Nas's latest album too. I hope she like puts like a
Mm.
project out.
See, you naming all these Virgos. Nas, Jennifer Hudson, naming it.
I'm a Libra, but almost Virgo.
Okay.
Because my birthday's at
Okay,
the
what's
end of
your birthday?
September. September 29th.
Oh,
So it's
see?
like I was like a bleed like a Libra Virgo. Or Virgo
Yes,
Libra, whatever. Yeah.
that's
So
right.
I see
Vanity.
Sade down there too.
Yep.
I love Sweetest Taboo,
Yeah.
Ordinary Love. Shout out to my boy Hazmat. He killed that cover. Yeah.
Mm. Now, have you traveled around the world and played music? Have you been like any beautiful places? I don't know, like Paris or
Those are all goals.
UK.
I've been around the country for a little bit. You know, more of that should be coming. I'm going to talk to some people, especially some Europeans that are very interested in See the Sign.
Yeah, because you
Um,
definitely got it, and I mean, the vibe, and taking me back to house music. I love this. See the Sign, like, man, what made you create this, and who was the vocalist on that? I mean, that's when I first heard it, and I didn't know that. I thought it was a group because when
mhm.
DJ sent it to me, and I was like, okay, this is a group. All right, all right, and then I read your bio, and I was like, okay, I need to know about Gold. I need to see the sign. He has to explain this to me because he's not from Detroit. This is Chicago. He's a Chicago brother. No, Chicago all the way.
We are definitely our two cities definitely love that Florida house music. So definitely. So See the Sign. That track came out of nowhere and then
Really?
turned into a super, like, I would say, out of this world composition arrangement. If you were to hear like the first version of the music that I composed to that,
because you have some acapella and you got different versions of it.
Right. Even like the first music, it was completely different from what you're hearing now. It just went through a big transition, went through a lot of changes. And when I thought about this song, when I heard this song, I was listening to it because I like if I make a track and it's like I'm feeling it, I'm gonna listen to it like 30 plus times, easy, over and over and over again. And it came to me like, oh, I need to put these two people on the track. The vocalists on the track are Ona Sharice and Dre Sconey.
Okay.
And I didn't notice that it went like this when it happened, but the studio session, I called them like, I got a track for y'all, need to get on. I thought that I already introduced them, but they never knew each other. And yes, they did not know each other. And like when they came in, I just turned the music on and let us go. I didn't go into any introductions because I thought they already knew each other. My apologies. But we finished the song. Everything is down. I'm like, oh my God. And then I'm like, don't you know? They were like, no, I don't know who this is. And I'm like, oh, my bad. I just thought because Dre sings with me in the band. I've done a lot of work with Ona Sharice forever.
Yes, and so familiar. What's that name?
You'll hear more about that coming soon. All that's in the plan.
I don't know why that name sounds familiar. Yes, you got to introduce me.
And I introduced them like, yeah, we never met each other. And then from that point on, it was like, oh, they were like, they've been making music together and are great friends. But that track, I think is one of my most impactful tracks that I've made because of the signing. I call it signing because as you heard the song, there's dual tempos in the music or multiple tempos.
It's got a lot.
And that's the grab. Yeah, that's the grab. You know, we're going to dance.
Yeah,
yep.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the sine wave, that up and down that you feel and hear throughout that music and some other music to come, you know, that's our emotions. You know, I've been making music lately over the last, I would say, 4 to 6 years off just emotion, like feeling, not like a topic, like emotion. You know, and we all have ups and downs. We all have ups, we all have downs. You know, no one's life is perfect. No one's life is always, you know, terrible. We always have those. It's all about how we ride the wave, how we handle them. So that's like a little like an audio roller coaster version of, you know, everyone, we all got a life to live, and it's not the best, but you know, if we just pay attention to how it flows, we can ride the wave and we can succeed.
Yeah, because I mean that's the best way to make music, through emotions. And I don't know. Sometimes I think a lot of artists don't get a chance to write their own music. It's something that they're being pushed into or pressured into making. And you can always kind of tell if it's theirs or then again, I don't know, because sometimes I remember in college, my professor had always told me that, you know, you got to have an image. You have to have an image in order for people to know who you are as an artist, as a poet, as whatever. Image is everything, you know?
Yes, I do know.
I never understood it, but I get it more now.
Me too.
Because people selling you something, but sometimes you can tell that it's not really them. You know what I mean?
Yes, and that's kind of like how Gold Thumb came to be. You know, I've been doing music all my life. You know, but Gold Thumb is the embodiment of all those experiences, all the music I've made, all the emotions I've made, and just wound up into one. Like, okay, this is everything to date. Now let's wrap that, put a bow on it, and this is my first presentation as a musician to the world, independently.
Are you excited?
I am. I'm very excited. I'm super patient, and I like to take stuff in stride. So I used to show too much emotion when I was younger. I was always the hype kid, always dancing and stuff. And I just kind of you know, I'm on stage, I'm gonna dance all day. But you know, I just kind of just take it in stride a little more. You know, I am very excited. I'm getting a lot of feedback from a lot of different people on this song. So I'm going to say I am somewhat surprised. I am surprised.
Really?
I am surprised. I mean, because we all know what's being played or is in the mainstream right now.
Yes, yes.
And that was I would say a concern of me because this is the song you're hearing is me. That is all me. That's how I feel. That's how I want it to be. I'm not going to change it for anyone. This is how it came out, and that's what it is.
And
And
that's
if
gonna be.
that's what it's gonna be, and I hope you like it. And great if you do. And if you don't, no worries. There's something that everyone likes and dislikes in this world. So I can just say I put me into an audio song, and I'm digging it. Yeah, I'm excited about it though. I am definitely excited about it.
I really feel it's definitely, going to be played on my radio station. But I'm going to tell you something.
Thank you so much.
This particular track, I can hear it in a lot of European countries. I don't know why, because I'm gonna keep it real. UK, Germany, like I've seen some numbers on my radio station. And to be honest with you, people from other countries support my
Unfortunately, yes.
But I really think, no, it's a great thing because they have the time to sit down and really listen. Because I think in the United States, we're so busy. There's so much going on that we miss. We're not really listening. We just hear certain things, but we're not really paying attention.
And we take so much for granted. So that's a part of it too, definitely.
Yeah. So I think when it starts there, that's when it grows. You know what I'm saying? I think it's so important that I would rather for my music, if I was an artist, to start somewhere in the UK or England or wherever, you know what I'm saying? Because it's going to grow. It's almost like a chain reaction.
Yes.
And that's exactly what's going to happen. And I can hear and see folks and people at the club and people in France, and they just, dubstep and all that other stuff going on. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep. And I got to touch on one of our viewers said, we're too concerned with imagery.
Yeah.
And and even though we were talking about that earlier, image is a part of it, but we're too wrapped up in it.
There's a difference.
And then, like what you were saying, my song, See the Sign, was actually debuted in Perth, Australia.
See?
Yep. And I'm all about it. I love it.
It's gonna grow.
And I'm looking forward to grow, and we got a lot of good stuff coming that is going to be just like See the Sign, that vein, that, oh, wow, this is refreshing. That's what refreshing. It's human.
Yeah.
That's the type of, it's not all, like imagery. Like, I'm going to put this in your face so you can think that, but that's not really it. That's not the truth. It's not for me. But I'm giving you me. And that's my goal with Gold Thumb Presents.
Well, Gold Thumb, you guys have to hear it. I'm gonna play it. I want to play the rest of it because go. Hey. Trans. Hey.
My favorite line. That's my favorite line in the song. I was like, hey, yes. Yep. Shout out to Drake County.
Oh, it's going down.
Can we slow it down? Baby, ain't no stopping me. I'm taking over you now. Can I get your number? Can I hit it? Can I hit it like a home run?
Hey.
I'ma make it rain when I'm around you. Baby, can I get that thunder? Beat it like a drummer. Back it up like a plumber. You about to be my baby.
Hit, hit.
Bring it back up.
Yep. Yep. Hey.
Shout out to the viewers. Shout out to the viewers. Thanks for the heart.
Yes, you guys.
I'm falling in a train.
Yeah. This is a jam. Yes, I love.
Thank
You
you,
just
thank you, thank you. Flattered. I appreciate that sincerely.
man.
Yep.
They ain't ready.
And that's only the beginning. That's only the beginning. It's so much good music about to come that's just as good as that and not better. It's like all right there. Like everything is going to be right there. We're going to be like, oh my goodness, this is so refreshing. This is what we need. This is what has been missing. People need to jump on this right now because we can ride the wave together. Like, come on. Let's,
Yeah. So, like, what advice would you give someone who wants to be an artist, who wants to be a musician? Like, what advice would you give them?
To be a musician
Mm-hmm.
or artist, it's about the time. It's all about time. Time is our most precious thing. And whatever you put attention and intention into, it can be great. So it's about how much time you give to that, how much dedication. So whatever instrument you pick up at whatever age, as long as you put that time in there, or you pick up that paintbrush or whatever, well, the amount of time you put in is going to dictate how well you feel about your creation before you even thinking about giving it to someone else or sharing it with the world. So I think the biggest thing is don't be scared of the time to put into it. It's very necessary, and then you will definitely be happy with yourself by putting the time in. If you don't put the time in, obviously, it can be hard. But putting the time in, that's where it's all about. And I've been putting a lot of time in. I'm still putting a lot of time, and I will always put a lot of time in, both in the studio, sequencing, making tracks, and playing the horn, because I just want to I want to stay at a certain level and beyond. So don't be scared of the time.
Yeah, you definitely have to put in the time. If you're passionate about something, you have to put in the time.
Yep.
If you're not passionate about it, then just don't do it. And be true to yourself and work hard.
Got to.
Have
Nothing comes easy, but when you work hard, everything comes easier.
Yeah. Have you ever had like a music block? I don't know if that's the right term, but like, how people have a writer's block or a beat block or, have you ever experienced that?
Yes. And like I said, I make my music off emotion. So if I'm not feeling it, I'm just going to turn off the computer and walk away. Sometimes I have to take breaks. Sometimes I'll just go play my horn, that'll sometimes pique some creativity, or I'll listen to some older music or some musician music that I like to hopefully. But yeah, if I have a block, I do not force it. I'm not about forcing it. I like to take a break from it, give myself some time, and then I literally start to feel like, okay, it's time to start making music again.
Right.
I'm actually there right now. Like I feel like that because I've been a lot going on, getting ready for the song, releasing stuff like that. So I had to step away from the studio and step away from playing as much. But now it's like, yeah, it's time to do it. So I definitely feel that right now.
So when will you have like an EP out?
Or
you're just gonna take your time and.
So I'll tell you this: since you're the first to interview live, so I think that's an honor for both of us.
Thank you. Yes.
I have an album's worth plus of music, but the world, I want to let the world kind of show me the way. I can just drop music and be done with it. Everyone does that every minute now. You know what I'm saying? But with a song like this, I think it's good to see if it can grow organically, go an organic route with it, not pushing your face, and then we'll go into the big commercial push and marketing and all that stuff, which could lead to, I want to do an album. People do singles now, you know, so
Yeah.
we're going to start with some singles from that body of work. I call it a body of work because that can change at any moment. There's a video for See the Sign as well. It's already done. We're just waiting for the right time. So I'm just kind of like gauging, because we have a lot of different, it's in a lot of different channels around the world right now, and we are kind of just seeing where it bubbles for the first like couple weeks, and then we're gonna kick up gear with more music and more content on all platforms and everything. And before we start to stream digitally, I am gonna release a vinyl version of See the Sign.
What?
The first release will be a limited run of vinyl. Then we'll do a digital.
Vinyl?
Yeah, we're going vinyl first. Gotta go vinyl first, you know, because it's all about the organic. I want to do it organically.
Yes.
I'm trying to do it how we're used to doing it. Like the new world, I get it. I want to be on social media and all that stuff. Whatever. There's still an organic pathway to these things.
You know,
So
I always ask people, I'm like, have you ever thought about, having a vinyl, record? Because I'm all about that vinyl. I still have my record player.
yeah.
I still have some of my dad's old albums. I'm sorry, but I know it's old school, but hey, this is where it all started. Like,
It was
why
recorded.
not?
The emotion, you can hear those songs. Listen to what they're talking about.
Right.
You have to have emotion with that. And then you can mirror that with some of the stuff you hear now. I'm not going to go into it, but you can tell that it's different. That's the type of stuff I like to pull from. You can feel the emotion. Yeah, but organic. So, but we got some DJs playing it, including you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And they're playing and spinning, and we're going to get some numbers and see how we're going to attack next.
Yes, because I feel like everyone should have a vinyl. Just something. I mean, even if you don't have a record player, but to have something, to have some type of memory. I miss the Polaroids. I miss all that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, now you got to pull it up. I mean, I'm not saying it's okay. Nothing wrong with it. Always have it in your hand or your phone.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong.
You know, it's a different type of feel and vibe to that.
Yes.
Definitely. Also, I don't know if I want to do it before the video or after the video. I'm going to be releasing some NFTs. So I am doing
smart.
We're going to do. I'm doing a both all school. How about that? You know,
yeah.
We're going to do some NFTs with the album cover. There's going to be a couple different versions of that. Yes. That's also going, because I got to jump into that too. You know, crypto.
Oh, yeah,
hey,
definitely. Oh, I know about that. You know, I've had a avatar, Bourgeois Latte. That's how Bourgeois Latte started. I was on IMVU, and it was about a coffee drinker. You know, I like drinking coffee and listening to music, and I created this room, and it started off as a jazz room, and I call it the Neo Soul Cafe. Okay. And it looked like a like a nightclub, but you're drinking coffee.
Yeah.
Like a decade ago. It's crazy.
Sounds like
and now it's like back. You know what I'm saying? Now
that's true.
I'm like, I've already done it. And it's crazy because when I get back on there, I haven't been on there in a long time. People's like, man, I remember you. You know, you started all the music. I had like Kevin Hart Avatar and like comedy clubs. I had all these different acts.
Oh, so you were well ahead of your time.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I got off of it because then, you know, I messed up because people started to steal ideas. And the people created started doing their own thing with it, you know. So, but, you know, it's a learning process. But
it is what it is. Just hop back on that wave and keep riding.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, so yeah, I know about the NFTs. So I'm working on that. I'm working on that as well. You know, because you know that's
it's not super hard. It's not super hard to do either.
And see, at first I thought it was like, but I'm definitely
It's
looking
not that
into it
hard.
though.
You already have a logo or something like that. You can make
Yep.
that NFT like today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Even your yeah. You can do that right now. It'll probably take you 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the thing, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a smart thing, and times are changing. Metaverse, you know, that,
Oh, I'm not ready
you
for
know,
that.
I
No.
know I keep hearing about it, but I don't know. There's gonna be some changes, brother.
And
I
I think
don't know.
it's gonna happen faster than we think. I just didn't
Hmm.
think we were gonna be living in computers this soon, but I guess it's on the way.
It is. It's on the way, but that's all
Yeah.
right though, because we see the sun.
Thank
That's gonna
you.
be in
Thank you.
there. Hey, be like, I know
Yep. Yep. Yep.
him. I know
Sure is.
Matthew. Hey. When you blow up, don't forget about me. Don't forget
It
about the little people.
started here. It started with you. It started here. I'm not gonna forget
All
that.
right.
I will
All
not.
right. Man, you know, I thank you for coming through, but I also would like to for us to have another interview
Yeah.
again and have it on radio.
Oh,
So,
of course. Please.
you know, I would love for us to do that. And man, can you play a little something?
Uh,
Just a little
I wish
something.
I should have been prepared. I went, my
If you
saxophone is
can't, that's okay. That just gives me
it,
another reason to have you back on.
yeah, I do. I'll play next time. I didn't think I was gonna play. I'm sorry. I usually have it ready. I didn't think I was gonna play. I
No,
apologize
that's
to
okay.
everyone.
No, because I didn't
I should
ask.
have been ready. Should have
I
been
didn't,
ready.
but you know what? I didn't ask. So, you know what I'm saying?
I got you,
That's
but I got you next
okay.
time. No problem.
So that's okay though, because that means I got to interview you again.
You got
That means
to do it
a
again.
lot.
No problem. I'm all
Look,
about it.
we should have a show, right? Have the saxophone going. We can have our own little, like, look, we can have like a listening party, and everybody come through, play music, and this time I'll have coffee, but I might have some wine. And we just, you know,
Ah,
let's have this discussion, you know, after this show. I'm serious.
yeah. Seriously, no,
I'm
no. We can talk about
and
that, and we got to get some of my wine on your show too.
absolutely, yeah. You
Yeah,
know, and then
yeah.
you know, we can have a party.
Yes, I'm all about it.
Okay. Weekly music review. Yes, we need a part two. We definitely will have a part two. We're gonna have a part two, right?
Yes, of course. Thank you. Yes.
Great. Perfect. So you guys make sure you like, follow, and share. All right. Gold Thumb and myself, moi, Bourgeois Latte. It's a Virgo morning. And wait, you're Virgo Libra
They're Virgo
morning.
Libra. Yep, Virgo Libra. Yep.
So thank you so much for coming through. We're gonna have to do this again, which we will, and
So,
we'll talk afterwards. And thank you.
yep. You
Thank you
have a
so
good
much
one.
for
Thanks
your
for
music. It's
coming by, everyone. And thank
yes.
you for having me. God bless.
God bless. See you guys. That's right. Team Virgo Libra here. That's right, you guys. That was Gotham, Matthew Jones. Great interview. Great saxophonist. We will be back again. And you guys, if you like coffee, let me know. If you are a coffee roaster, you know, holla at your girl, because I want to know more about your coffee. And you guys, please follow me and go to www.lattejavadrips.com/LJD radio. Thank you, LJD radio. And you guys will hear more. I really enjoy doing this live. I know you're probably wondering, why am I not doing this on radio? I will real soon. I think I'm just going to do both visual, and I'm going to have it connected to other social media platforms. But I wanted to really get a feel and get to know the artist visually. I love visual more than audio, but hey, it is what it is. We'll chat later, you guys. And I just want to say thank you for coming through. Once again, I'm Bourgeois Latte. It's a Virgo morning. Till next time. I'm gonna play his music before I log it out. Hey. any coffee roasters, give me a call because I would love to interview you as well. Because I feel like folks need to know who you are. So here is Gotham. Hey, Matthew Jones. And on and on. Hey.